Hi, it's Martin from Disc here, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to make your tablet into something that's a little bit like a PC. So stay tuned and find out more. So I've got my Android tablet here. A lot of people got an Android tablet, and sometimes there's a little whim. Maybe it was a birthday present, maybe it was something that you knew would be useful for you, but you just couldn't quite tell how. Maybe you got it just for entertainment. You were going to read books, watch videos, maybe do a bit of social media, and that's all good. But sooner or later, perhaps your thoughts strayed to productivity, and you thought, well, I'm going to write some documents on here. Actually, going back to the other screen, maybe I'm going to do a little Linux system administration on here. I'm only kidding about that. Only hardcore nerds like me would even dream of doing that. But let's imagine that you're using something like Google Docs. Maybe you're taking notes in lectures or meetings or something like that. So you get Google Docs up, and the truth is, it's a little bit frustrating because the virtual keyboard takes up practically the entire screen. You haven't got very much room to see what you're doing. Well, that's when a lot of people have said, I think I might invest in one of these little Bluetooth keyboards, and somehow or other, and there's some magic thing which maybe I only need to do once. Somehow or other I will get that connected up to my device, and then it'll be like magic, it'll be like a real computer. Well, up to a point, now our keyboard to be connected. Is this like a real computer now? Well, let's see. So I can go back into that document and now I've suddenly got a lot more space on the screen. So now I can type on my Bluetooth keyboard. This is the Bluetooth keyboard. That's pretty good. The only thing is, it still doesn't really feel like a regular computer. You know what would make it feel like a regular computer is if I could use maybe a mouse with it. And there are these things called USB on-the-go adapters, which have a micro USB and a regular USB. And they're pretty nifty, actually. An on-the-go adapter, that would let me connect my mouse up to my tablet. But do you think it would work? So let's see if I can actually do that. Let's see if we can make mouse to tablet work. And let's see if I can even get the cable in the right way around the first time. Look at that. It's a cursor. A cursor on an Android device suddenly does feel a lot more like a real computer. And I can do things like this. I can click on the home screen. This is a little bit of a slow tablet, so it takes a while to catch up. I can even scroll around between my screens. But let's go back into Docs. The only thing about this is, well, it's pretty good actually. I can highlight stuff, will catch up eventually. See, there we go, I can highlight stuff, I can move the cursor around, I can select things in all sorts of ways. This is all pretty good. But what if I didn't have the Bluetooth keyboard? What if what I had was actually, I don't know, maybe something more like this, a conventional wired keyboard? Well, turns out, if you wanted the mouse and the keyboard, one of these little USB hubs that you can get for just a few pounds, you quite happily plug in here instead of the on-the-go adapter. So let's do that. So plug this USB hub in, and let's imagine that I had, see, I will get it in the right way around eventually. Let's imagine that I had the mouse and the keyboard that I wanted to plug in. There we go. And just pop them in here. And now I can type with the keyboard. A real keyboard, proper keys. This is the real keyboard. And all of a sudden, my Android tablet feels pretty much like a proper computer. And this keyboard's got a nice clicky sound. But do you know what? Even though I have this keyboard connected, I can still type on the Bluetooth one. Hello again. And actually, if you have a compatible Bluetooth mouse, you might be able to have 2 mice. And actually, is the limit 2? It could be really fascinating if you wanted to share a single device between several people, for instance, students in a classroom. I just wanted to show you that because it's an aspect of Android that most people never see. And maybe now that you've seen it, you can think of some interesting things to do with it. So now I hope you can see that with perhaps one of these little gadgets, an on-the-go adapter, or one of these titsy little USB hubs, you can turn your Android tablet or even your smartphone in something much more like a real computer. Remember that feeling when you saw the cursor appear when we plugged the mouse in? That was pretty special, wasn't it? I've got one last thing to show you, which I think you might be tickled by. Let's imagine you are a hardcore Linux nerd. Let's see what you could do with your Android tablet now. Okay, so going back into hardcore Linux nerd mode, and here I am with a remote login session onto another machine, and wow, you know, I can actually be doing all of the things that I would do if I had a full-size laptop here. This keyboard doesn't need to be so big. That tablet could be a phone. It could be a folding up keyboard and a phone that you had stashed away in a pocket or a backpack, which if you were a hardcore Linux nerd would mean that you would have pretty much instant access to your normal working environment, the server that you manage or what have you. And that could be absolutely priceless. So that's enough for me for today. I hope you found that interesting. If you do pick up on my little tip here, do leave a comment and let me know what you did with it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.